We're live for Sunday Service, episode number 64, coming right at you. Hot off of UFC Vegas 111. No rigged fights, as far as we know, that happened last night. I got to say, I thought it was a pretty clean card. For once, there was no controversy on a card. I guess the biggest controversy that you could bring up was the stoppage in the main event, but honestly, I think it was a good stoppage. We'll see what the chat has to say about that. Some people said it was fine. I agree with that. Some people didn't like it. I would like to hear why you don't like it, unless you want to see Randy Brown take some serious damage, but whatever. Co-main event, Joseph Morales did what he does. Taco Padilla getting it done. Didn't get a $50K bonus. I know a lot of people were upset that he didn't. I got a little bit of a take about that. Maybe just some understanding for the people that were upset about it, about how things work, or at least how I think things work. But we'll go over that. And then, of course, we're hot on the trail for UFC 322, Madison Square Garden, where JDM is trying to take out Islam Makhachev, and Islam Makhachev is trying to take the welterweight title from my boy JDM and become a two-division champion. Maybe the best fight of the year. Could be the best fight of the year. Honestly, it could. I mean, every JDM fight that I've seen is like a great fight. Islam Makhachev, usually a pretty damn good fight. I know we thought DDP, excuse me, I know we thought DDP versus Hamzat was going to be like one of the best fights of the year, and that fight turned out to suck. And then, of course, I was excited for Aspinall versus Gane, and that fight turned into a no contest. There are a couple good main events out there. You know, of course, JDM Bilal earlier this year was a good fight. There's a couple other ones, but man, this could be the best fight of the year. I hope it turns out to be good, because if it's not, then I feel like that means Islam probably ran through him. And I don't really want to see that happen. So, yeah, it's a big week for me as well, because if JDM wins, then I should cash my ticket on JDM to be champion at the end of 2025 at big plus money, big plus 2250 odds. Made that bet at the beginning of the year. And if Islam pulls out of the main event, which I don't foresee happening, but if Islam pulls out of the main event, then I think Sean Brady probably steps in there. And then I also got Sean Brady to be the welterweight champion at the end of 2025 at plus 2,000 as well. So it's a big week. Could be a big week. I already gave out my early picks in the video I posted last night. So hopefully you guys check that out if you haven't already. But I am tending to lean towards Islam Makhachev. I'm sure you guys are probably going to be throwing some chats in there for me about the matchup. But how are we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Most likely just gentlemen, because the diehards are only tuning in to the Sunday service. Allah Jawan in the chat before the thing even start. Appreciate you, brother. It is a very hyped card. I think the overall main card is probably the best main card of the year. I didn't even touch on the women's title fight. But if there's a women's title fight that I could get excited about, it's probably that one, man. Zhang Wei Li and Valentina Shevchenko. I don't know that it's going to be like a banger fight, but it's a very high-level matchup. And Valentina, it's like, when is she going to drop off? I don't know. And then with Zhang Wei Li, she could be a two-division champion as well. I'm a little bit under the weather, boys, so bear with me. I'll be sipping some tea, but there's no way I could miss this Sunday service. Louis boy, what up, boys? Card is stacked. It is, man. It is. God, man, what am I going to do the whole week while waiting for this card? Well, man, I don't know. It does tend to feel like the pay-per-view weeks move slower. They move slower because you're more excited for it. I always feel like the Apex weeks, they go so fast. It's like, well, Saturday's already here, you know? It does feel weird. It does feel weird. If you ask for a bonus, you will not get a bonus. Simple as that. Yeah, we could go over that, man. We could go over that. I know a lot of people were upset that Chris Padilla didn't get a bonus on Saturday, which, you know, I do agree. I think he probably should have gotten a bonus. But the thing is, you got to think about it from the UFC's point of view. They don't want people to go on the mic begging for a $50K bonus. Why? Because it makes them look bad. Also, if they beg for the 50K bonus and then they get the 50K bonus, then that incentivizes other fighters to beg for the 50K bonus. So they don't want people to be begging for bonuses. And if you do beg for a bonus, they're probably not going to give it to you because they don't want to reward that type of behavior. So I understand why the UFC didn't give him a 50K bonus. I would be shocked if they didn't give him a little bit of extra behind the scenes as like a, here you go. We couldn't give you the 50K bonus, but we'll give you something behind the scenes so people don't know that we're rewarding this behavior. But I also do think that fighters should just get a flat bonus for getting a finish. Like, why is it that you have to get a finish and whoever's giving out these bonuses or whoever's picking these bonuses has to choose you? It should just be like a 20K minimum. 20K minimum, you get a finish, you get a 20K bonus. That's fine. I mean, that seems like that's not going to hurt the UFC's pocketbook that much. They've been having these bonuses at 50K for a long time. And supposedly they're supposed to go up once the Paramount deal comes into play. But still, like, why not just have, even if it's 10K, just to get a finish? Like, that would incentivize more finishes, it feels like, or at least if a guy does get a finish, but it's not like some amazing knockout, like he still got to finish, because some of these fighters, they don't have, God-given knockout power. They're not going to go out there and just sleep you with one shot. But if they go out there and really work for a finish, really push for a finish, and they get a finish, but it's maybe not in some like spectacular fashion, I feel like they should still get rewarded for it. But the point is, you can't beg for a bonus because the UFC doesn't want to reward that type of behavior. And if they were to give you the 50K bonus after you begged for it, then a lot more people would be begging for it. Just doesn't happen, man. It's just not a good look. Just not a good look. So Padilla didn't get the bonus and Uros Medic didn't get the bonus. Both guys that begged for the 50K bonus. Lesson is, don't beg for the 50K bonus, because the UFC is not going to reward that type of behavior because they don't want to incentivize other fighters to be on a mic in front of everybody begging for more money, being like, we don't get paid enough. My mom is living in a trailer. I need this 50K bonus to get her out of the trailer. Don't do that, because that's a bad look for the UFC. You made the UFC look bad, and they're not going to reward you. They're not going to reward you. Maybe they'll do it behind closed doors to, keep you happy. But they're not going to let people know that they did it because they don't want other people doing it. Isn't horse meat legal in Dagestan? Probably. I mean, I'm not sure why it wouldn't be, The Many Men Parlay this week. Bo Nickel, Chepe, Kyle Dawkins, lock it in, baby. Hey, I don't know if I'll be betting on Bo Nickel this week, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. I don't know if that man could be trusted. All right? We should, pump the brakes on him. The last time he fought an MSG, he went to a decision with Paul Craig. Not a good look. Not a good look. Islam Darce again. I could see it, man. I could see it. We do got some bangers, man. We got some bangers. How you feeling about your JDM champ bet from earlier this year? I have the same one at plus 2,200. I'm wondering if I should put something on Islam. Yeah, to be honest, man, I don't feel good about it. I do feel like he's being a little bit underrated. I feel like JDM's getting a little bit looked past in this spot. But, if there's a gun to my head, like I would take Islam Makhachev to win. I don't think he's going to be that much undersized compared to JDM. I don't really foresee JDM like mogging him by any means. Excuse me. I don't think he's going to mog him. And then also think like Islam's submission skills on the ground are going to play a big factor, or at least just the ability to beat him to positions, beat him to positions on the ground, because JDM likes to force scrambles, but I feel like Islam's probably just going to be a step ahead in the grappling. I'm hyped for Val versus Wei Lee. I am too. I feel like it's a great fight. What up, boys? What up, Ross? What up, Russ? How we doing? From 3PC. I got a little bit of a fun thing that I'm getting into that we're going to get into later in the live stream once we get some more people in here. But shout out to Russ. What's early thoughts on Jack and Islam? I think Islam wins, bro. I think Islam wins. I do think his size is probably going to be a little bit overblown. I don't think like him taking creatine is just going to make him some unstoppable force at 170. I think it's the skills. The skills are going to pay the bills. JDM is a very skilled MMA or mixed martial artist, but I think on the ground, he's going to be put in some bad spots. He's going to be put in some bad spots, and maybe he survives, but in those bad spots, he's going to lose moments, and he's probably going to lose minutes. That's why I feel like Islam's probably going to win. Valentina, easy money. Ooh, easy money on Valentina. Morales, easy money. A little underdog shot for Boers. That's a very interesting fight to me. Morales is a scary dude. Very scary dude. I cashed out big with Uros Medic with the KO, Jacqueline to win, and Padilla KO. Nice, bro. That's a good parlay. Islam submission, Kimura or rear naked choke. I think I feel like it could be. I feel like it's gonna be like a Darce or something. It's gonna be a Darce or something. Darce Anaconda. I think that's gonna be some type of front headlock, or maybe he uses the front headlock to like get to the back or something. But JDM gives up his neck, man. He gives up his neck because he likes to force scrambles, and he has a way of getting out of it. But man, it's tough. Closed mouths don't get fed. It's true. But man, you got to do it in a different fashion. Do it in a different fashion. Do it like fucking Josh Hokett did. Josh Hokett went out there and had like a pre-written script. Didn't beg, just read off some, maybe memorized some lines. He got a $50K bonus. Pretty much did the exact same thing that Muslim Salikov did. RoboCop's the best bet. He is. I don't know if I have like a great track record with RoboCop fights, man. I don't know. But RoboCop is fucking scary, dude. He's huge. Huge. Dana gave that $50K to Cash Patel. Did Medic get a bonus on Saturday? He begged in the octagon. No, he did not. No, he did not. It's been a dono so far, but I'm going to take a shot on RoboCop sub. Feel like there is an actual path for it this time. What ground and pound TKO wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, dude, I'm kind of waiting for RoboCop to get his first submission win as well. I feel like the grappling could be a big path for him. We'll see if he takes it, though. It's always like an option, but he rarely takes it. Zhang Gang. I feel like Zhang could probably do it, bro. I feel like she could. I feel like Leon can beat Prates. I think he could if he goes out there and wrestles and grapples from the jump. But I don't know that he's going to do that. Exactly, brother, man. Like, if he wrestles, he's the better grappler. He's the way better grappler. And the better wrestler. But is he going to do that? I don't know, man. Islam is definitely not clean. Russians are sketchy. He probably has some secret from that. Makes him stronger. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. We're throwing stuff out there. It's allegedly, Islam is out there taking creatine, right? Yeah. I remember when I first started taking creatine, I didn't exactly bulk up immediately, but it did help. Bo to lose. If Bo loses again, it's not looking good. I will say this, though. I feel like it's going to be a boring fight, man. I feel like it could be the same thing as like the Paul Craig fight. Why would Bo Nickel want to go down to the ground with Vieira? Why would he do that? He didn't do it. He didn't want to do that against Paul Craig. So why would he do that with Adolfo Vieira? It's probably going to be like a kickboxing battle between two strikers. So I think it might be boring. That fight, Leon Prates, is a tough one for me to call. I'll stay away. I feel like it could be a stay away spot. Because Leon's like at an all-time low with his stock. Prates coming off a big spinning back elbow KO. His stock is back where it needs to be, after he lost to Ian Gary. Then he gets another KO win. So if Leon can grapple, man, he could do some bad stuff to Carlos Prates, man, on the ground. Medic got the bonus, I thought. Nah, I don't think so. I just pulled it up. No bonus. No bonus for Medic, bro. No bonus for Medic. The only guys that did get a bonus were Gabriel Bonfim, CLD, Josh Hokett and Zach Reese. They gave Zach Reese a bonus. They gave Zach Reese a bonus for that, dude. They did it for Rosas Jr. Well, I mean, that's because he didn't say that he was like poor. He's also like 18. So I do feel like they give bonuses to guys that they want to like boost up, you know? So if they're younger and they get a finish, like, okay, fucking dish it out. We'll give you a bonus. Or if they like you, it's also kind of like a if they like you type of thing. Clearly they like Raul Rosas Jr. JDM by TKO, baby. I fucking hope so, dude. I hope so. I would love that. I would love nothing more than a TKO by JDM. I had plus 1,000 to be champ. Plus 2,200 is crazy value. Yeah, I know. That's why I fucking played it. I played JDM, Sean Brady, and Carlos Prates. And guess what? They're all on this card. They're all on this card. And if Islam just didn't move up a weight class, I would be sitting so pretty. I would be sitting so pretty. The one thing I did not see happening was, I mean, I didn't really think it would happen. It's always a possibility. But at the beginning of the year, you know, I thought Bilal Muhammad would eventually lose. And I didn't know that Shavkat was going to be ready to fight. So that's why I took those three guys thinking if Bilal Muhammad gets matched up against these three guys, he's going to lose to one of them at least. And he lost to JDM. And then, of course, they had to bring in the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the fucking world to come and take my bet away from me that I thought was a for sure cash, dude. I thought it was a for sure cash. Unfortunate stuff, man. Unfortunate. But we're not dead. I can't talk like we're dead. You know, I can't talk like we're completely dead and out of the water. I don't like that. We're not dead yet. We're not dead. It's not size not going to matter like that. Agreed. JDM going to crack Islam and break his nose. Told you Padilla was a lock, son. Hey, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Did you think Bonfim Brothers sold so he could win the main event? No questions? Bonfim Brothers sold so he could win the main event? You're going to have to elaborate. I'm not really following you, brother. Maybe I'm just slow, but Islam about to make this look easy. Please don't say that. Since we are looking into fixed fights, go back and watch the Derek Lewis versus Ty fight. That finish looks sus. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of finishes that look sus, you know? It did look a little weird, though. I'm not going to lie. Valentina should be a lock, right? I mean, why would she be a lock? I don't know why she would be a lock, David. I mean, Wei Lee's like one of the best fighters to ever do it as well. So, I mean, I don't know why she would be a lock. Islam going to get tired in late rounds, I think. I doubt it. Islam on those new Dagestanis. New? They ain't new, dude. They've been having these for a long time. Just ask fucking Usman Nurmagomedov. Dude that actually popped for some performance-enhancing drugs, you know? These ain't new supplements that the Dagestanis got. They've been knowing about creatine. And by creatine, you know what I'm talking about. All right? This ain't stuff that you can just get on the shelf of a GNC. All right? Those Dagestani supplements, they've been having those. Just ask Usman Nurmagomedov. All right? There's a reason he had to stay out of competition for a certain amount of time. And there's a reason he ain't in the UFC. Marquez MMA is where striking goes to die. Give me Morales, late KO or decision. Is that true? Marquez MMA is where striking goes to die. You're saying like Sean Brady's striking died? I don't know, bro. I don't think he's like that terrible of a striker, but interesting. Maybe elaborate on that. Do you think Bonfim gave Padilla that win? No, I don't. I think Padilla just broke him, dude. Leon out cold Sunday morning. Hey, I wouldn't be upset about that. Anyone else going to be at MSG? Anyone else in the chat going to be at MSG? Throw it in the chat if you're going to be in New York at the card. Rodolfo Vieira guillotine. I don't know that he has like the best guillotine, man. I don't know. Bo isn't exciting unless he's getting finished or finishing non-UFC level opponents. Very true. Nickel Vieira going to the distance for sure. Still no odds for Wellmaker Haddon. Curious to see what that's line. I saw it earlier today. It was Wellmaker was minus 150. So I mean, it's kind of how I thought it would be, honestly. Leon never wins again. JDM KO, Brady sub, Leon decision, cycle parlay. That's going to pay pretty big, bro. It's going to pay pretty big. It's hard for me to imagine the Russians who don't drink, don't party would get on gear, but who knows? I mean, they've failed tests. I mean, let me look it up. Usman Nurmagomedov failed a drug test. Usman Nurmagomedov failed test. Bellator's Usman Nurmagomedov fails drug test, suspended 6 months. What did he test for? Tested positive for a prohibited substance. Does it say what substance? They said it. His manager said it's not an anabolic steroid, EPO, HGH, etc. Nothing enhancing. Okay, buddy. Okay, for sure. I'm sure that makes a lot of sense, right? Over under on JDM and Islam is 3.5. What you think? I'd say over. Willmaker is minus 150. Like any underdogs on the card? I kind of think Tracy Cortez could be okay. Let me look at it again. Yeah, I haven't watched a ton of film yet, boys, but I think Cortez could be decent. I also think Rodolfo Vieira could be decent, honestly. Chepe could also be decent. Morales could be decent. Whaley could be decent. Beneil maybe, but I don't know. That one's kind of tough to me. Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs could be live. So, Paige, I went up 2.43 units last night. I seem to only do good on Apex cards and not pay-per-view. Going to OSU UCLA game this weekend, so probably going to skip 322. Well, have fun at the game, brother, and congrats. Tell me how Pena versus Nunes one was not fixed. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough to explain other than the fact that she just kind of gave up. The thing is, like, I highly doubt that Amanda Nunes is going to fix a fight. Like, she was probably getting $1 million plus for that fight. Why would she go out there and fix it? It doesn't really make sense to me. So I don't think any like high profile fights would be getting fixed or having a predicted outcome before the fight happens. Islam popped in the past too. Did he? Did he really? Islam Makhachev failed test. Did have a positive drug test for substance meldonium in 2016, but he was found to be without fault or negligence and did not receive a suspension. It was prescribed to him before it was a banned substance. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's probably anything. CLD versus Marco Tullia was rigged. Needs to be investigated. Bro took the fall. I mean, if he took a fall like that, he's a good actor, bro. He's a real good actor. Uros doesn't need the bonus. He's a doctor. Nice, dude. No Daggy champs at the end of 2025 in UFC. Their time is over. I fucking hope so, dude. Bonfim brother didn't fight back when he definitely could. Do you think Bonfim let Padilla win to make his brother come true against Randy Brown? Jesus. Brother didn't fight back when he definitely could. I think he was gassed out, dude. I think he was gassed out. Gonna be going heavy on Mateus Camilo against Slava? Question mark. KO seems super likely. Slava's chin retired and moved back to the North Pole. Man, I really like the other matchup for Camilo better, honestly. But I think Slava is such a good striker that if he doesn't get KO'd, I think he could beat him. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Camilo should be able to get him out of there. They're on gear. Marquez MMA, good game planning with grappling, terrible with striking. Piper would be way better if he was more aggressive on the feet. Brady would be way better if he was elsewhere. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Piper's just not an aggressive striker, man. He's just not that aggressive of a striker. You know, like I think he's powerful, but he knows he's powerful, but he's just patient. And as far as Valentina, I think she can kick on the outside and wrestle Zhang. 10-pound difference is way more important for women's MMA than the dudes. You might be true. You might be true there. Besides the main event and co-main, what fights excite you the most on the 322 card? Definitely Brady versus Morales. I think that's such a sick fight. Such a sick fight. There are some prelims as well that when I was going through them, I was like, hell yeah. I think Wellmaker and Cody Haddon's a sick fight. I mean, the whole main card is sick, dude. Whole main card. Kopylov, Rodriguez on the prelims as well. Benil and Saint-Denis is interesting, and even Edwards versus Pratis is interesting, bro. All those fights are sick, but mostly outside the main and the co-main, I would say Morales and Sean Brady. All right, boys. We got 159 people in here. If you are in here right now, that means you are probably a diehard MMA fan, probably a diehard UFC fan. And the reason why I have these live streams is because I like to talk to you guys in the chat. But there's a way that we can do this that I am now very excited to announce my involvement in. It's going to be 3PC, 3-punch combo, ladies and gentlemen, 3punchcombo.com. You can sign up right now. Use my code HeyJive for a free month. What is 3PC? Let's take a look. It's essentially an online chat, a forum, whatever you want to call it. But it's an online, doesn't have an app, but it's just online. $5 a month, but you get your first month for free with code JIVE. I am in there right now. It's for the diehard fans that don't want to have to go through the SureDogs of the world where there's a ton of ads. The UI is terrible. This is very clean UI. There's also UFC fighters in 3-punch combo as well. They got Chase Hooper, Steve Garcia, Nazim Sadikov, Ken Flo, Dean Thomas, all these people. I mean, the big thing as far as like a guy that wants to know more about the fighters, this is where you're going to find it out. Just take a look at this, right? This screen grab from my boy Russ. There's a question at the beginning. I'm going to pause it actually so you can see it. The question at the beginning. So if you ever have a question that you want to ask fighters, you can ask it in 3-punch combo because there's fighters in there that you can reach out to and talk to. So this question was about jet lag. You know, how does it affect you going up and preparing for a fight? Sick stuff. You got some multiple replies here from different fighters about how it affects them leading up to the fight, the travel, the jet lag, all that type of stuff. So, boys, if you're really into MMA, that's probably why you're here. You're probably into the UFC like I am. I live and breathe it. I watch film every day. Every day that I wake up, it's something about UFC. So I want to talk about it with people. I'm sure you want to talk about it with people. 3-punch combo. Go check it out. 3punchcombo.com. Use code JIVE for a free month when you first sign up. And that way you can get it if you like it. And if you don't, then hopefully, you don't hate it. I don't really think you're going to hate it. I mean, I'm in there. I'm in there now. So if you have any topics that you want to talk about, that's where you got to do it. That's where you got to 3punchcombo.com. Use code JIVE for a free month. And we got a dono. We got a $199 dono. Where was the 5-leg underdog play this week? I didn't put it out because I just forgot about it, honestly. But I think appreciate you for the $1.99 dono. Appreciate that, brother. I'll have one this week. I gave it out to, the premium members, but there's only a certain amount of videos that I'm going to do for an Apex card. And I don't think that one made the cut. I'm kind of dying here, boys. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm kind of dying here. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to make it, but I kind of forget which chat I was on. Why the confidence so much in Islam? He struggled versus the old Dustin. I'm not saying I'm like super confident, but I am saying he should be the favorite. I feel like he's probably going to win. Morales for my whole bank account. There you go. Plus money. Stand your base. I like Leon Edwards and Zhang Wei Li as underdogs this card. We got some love for Leon. Some love for Leon in the chat. Yeah, Islam popped after a few UFC fights. The haters are a retard. Any advice for No Nut November? Stay strong, brother. Stay strong. Leon is not winning. Where are you going to be for the fight Saturday? Hey, Jive. I'm not sure. Probably just at my house. Yeah, not really feeling like going anywhere, to be honest. Kind of sick. And at this point, I'd rather just watch them at my house. What fight you most hyped for outside of the title fights? Also, underdog starting to drop lines already. Well, thank you, Pablo. Thank you. I was aware of that, but I know people get antsy. But it's okay. Stay calm. We'll have the plays out. Outside the title fights, we went over this a little bit, but Morales and Sean Brady show already over. Everyone's saying every fight is rigged now. Was funny for like 2 days. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fights you could think about throughout your career as a UFC fan. Like, there's a ton of fights where you're just like, what the fuck was that? It doesn't make any sense. And then people just chalk it up to be like, well, it's MMA, man. You never know what's going to happen. Or like, well, you can't leave it in the hands of the judges. And now knowing what we know, it's kind of like, well, was that fight rigged? Or was it just, MMA is crazy, man. Anything could happen. I don't know, man. It's crazy. ChatGPT gave me like 15 Russian fighters past or present in the UFC who tested positive. I take it back. He's sauced. He's sauced. Yeah, there's a lot of Russians that have been popped, dude. I mean, just think of fucking Rizvan Kuniev, bro. Rizvan Kuniev, I believe he's Dagestani. Let me look at him up. I'm starting to get real stuffy, bro. Rizvan Kuniev. Is he Dagestani? Rizvan Kuniev, bro. He popped for like 4 different anabolic steroids. I mean, he showed up to the PFL with full-on back knee, looking like a specimen of a human. So, yeah, I don't think the Dagestanis are out of the realm of getting popped for PEDs. Russ said, I like Zhang a lot too. I feel like the last few fights for Val, she's entered the stage of her career where she's fighting more to win without any chance of getting hurt than fighting to win. True. I kind of said something similar on my early picks video breakdown. I said she's kind of just winning a lot of these fights based on IQ, like fight IQ, good timing, like just being a veteran and not taking a lot of risk. Because when she did take a lot of risk, or when she did take a risk against Alexa Grasso, she got her back taken and choked out. So I do feel like Whaley could get it done. It's not going to be a winning strategy. Yeah, I agree. Morales or Brady? Kind of leaning towards Morales, but man, it's going to be tough to beat Brady, bro. Can't believe people are picking Leon Edwards to win. I kind of agree, man, but like at the same time, I could see him winning. Like there's a possibility he could win a decision, a grappling-based decision. I mean, he took down and took Usman's back in round 1. Like he could probably do that to Pratis. Kopylov versus Rodriguez is a banger. It is. BSD KO, please. I think it probably comes, dude. Leon Edwards doesn't have the footwork like Ian Gary, and Ian Gary still got caught. Nate Diaz was able to wobble Leon Edwards. I know. I get it. Like in the striking, like Prates is definitely the guy. But I think we kind of forget about Leon's ground game. Like he has a good ground game. It's just when he goes up against guys that has a better ground game, you don't really get to see it. Realistically, how would Hulk fare against Walter Walker? I think Hulk could do well against Walter, honestly. Just can't get heel hooked, you know? We love UFC. We play UFC. We do. I think Prates wins, but Edwards has a chance. He's a very smart fighter. I think he has a higher fight IQ and experience than Prates, who tends to gas out late. Well, it's only 3 rounds, boys. I mean, a 3-rounder, I don't really think he's going to gas out in 3 rounds. You know, is Shevchenko going to be able to hold Weili down, or will Weili scramble out like against Suarez? Might be hard to escape from someone who has a natural 125 pounds. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think both girls could do decent in the grappling, but I would say Shevchenko probably has more ability to top timer and win minutes on the ground. But I don't really see Weili like getting taken down and held down for long periods of time. Prates wins round 1, loses round 2 and 3 is a possibility. I don't know, man. I don't know. Such a weird fight to me. It's such a weird fight. Carlos was about to knock out Ian Gary in the 5th. How did he gas? Yeah, exactly, dude. I don't think he gassed. I don't think he's a gasser. He needs to be 100% for all 3 rounds. He tends to be 70% round 3. I don't know why he has cardio problem, but I notice. I mean, it's not like Leon Edwards is going to push a pace, dude. Leon's not like a guy that is going to make you work so hard and break you, dude. He's not a high pace fighter at all. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions with Leon Edwards, man. A lot of them. Cortez, Shevchenko, Prates, Islam. Gross. Leon Edwards doesn't have the footwork. Yeah, we talked about that. Said the same thing. Zhang Fave. She's not. She's a slight dog. At the end of the day, I think Islam wins, but all these parlay idiots come in and he becomes plus 250. You got to play it. Yeah, man. I mean, if Islam's like minus 300 or something, man, it's getting a little bit out there, you know? Do I ever have the fellows over for fights? Periodically, yeah. I'll have a couple people over. I like Browse underdog over Edwards. You got me. There you go. Stamp Fairtex Fight Week. Shout out to Fairtex, man. Leon just doesn't do enough. Doesn't do well under pressure, and when momentum sways, he breaks. Kind of true. Will JDM Morales lines get wider? You think you'll get a better number on those dogs now or closer to fight night? I think the initial moves have kind of like already happened a little bit. So you're probably going to see similar lines throughout the week. I don't think it's going to move like a ton either way. I feel like Susurkaev odds are too sus. I don't know, man. I mean, I think fucking you would take Makhachev underdog parlay. I don't know, bro. Makhachev is not very good. Prates could have put it on Leon. Leon getting fucking starched. Don't be surprised if Makhachev wins. Makhachev's not good. He's not. And I bet on him last fight. He's not good. To the guy saying Shevchenko wins, all I see is lighter man's skill. Worst champion of all time. Leon, talking about Leon. I like how 322 has 3 top welterweight fights in the main card. I like it when pay-per-view main cards have multiple fights in the same division. I agree. They loaded it up with the welterweights. I'm about it. Definitely think Rodolfo can beat Bo in the striking. No way I could trust Bo anymore. 100%, bro. The ground game is forgettable, but it's all up to Carlos if he's going to up his wrestling because he has pretty solid jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Kind of. Leon doesn't have the eye of the tiger anymore. I think it's just there to collect another check. Bro, he doesn't have the eye of the tiger anymore. That's crazy. That's crazy. Kind of like underdog. Kind of like under 1.5 for Dariush BSD. I think it's gonna be a quick finish. I mean, he could definitely chin him in round 1. I mean, if Dariush is getting KO'd, it's probably round 1. So that might not be bad. Haddon, Cortez, Vieira, Morales, underdog parlay. Already locked in. That's going to pay big. It's going to pay big, bro. I see 5 viable underdogs. Mechanical? Bro, Mechanical is crazy. It's crazy work. Whaley, Cortez, Morales, Edwards. Guess Cortez is a popular dog this week. Yeah, that second one wasn't meant for this when I was talking to someone else. You saw Hyder Emil dry heaving in his corner after round 1. Yeah, dude, I thought he was going to throw up. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but Hyder Emil was legit dry heaving, like he just about a fucking upchuck mid-fight in the corner. And then they sent him back out there, and he kept fighting. He kept fighting. And he had a terrible round 2 and 3, man. Just got taken down at will, got held down, looked like he was in pain. We got to figure out what the fuck was up with Hyder Emil because it did not look good for him in there. Islam moved from minus 270 to minus 330 this morning. Ain't no way, bro. He's minus 260 right now. Minus 260. Hey, Jive, I know you have a subscription package, but have you ever done third-party tracking? No, because I did try. Well, actually, I did try. And then I would always forget to put them in. So then that just fucked everything because I'd forget to put them in, and you can't put them in past the time that the fight started. And you can't track DFS in there. And you could third-party track, but like, does it really mean anything? Because you could put whatever line in there that you want. And of course, they're going to, see if the line was available. But, I mean, it's okay. Like, I just feel like if I was lying about anything, like, people would expose me. But I'm very transparent with what I do. And I've never claimed to be, like, the best bettor in the world. So I'm transparent with my results. And if you don't believe me, like, that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to get my bets. Like, I'm not going to be upset about it. So you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. But if I was to like fake anything, I'm pretty sure people would expose that. So yeah, that's why I don't really think like third-party tracking is necessary. Sign up for 3-punch combo. Thanks for the code. Site looks sick. Shout out to Blind Muck for signing up for 3PC. Make sure you go check out my page on 3PC. Just tell me what's up. Drop some good stuff in there. Give me a little something to talk about. Maybe what your picks are for this week. What do you think about the co-main event? Do you think Valentina does it again? You think Valentina does it again, or is just Weili pick it off, become a 2-division champion? UFC is giving Susukaev layups on purpose. He should be minus 2,000. Yeah, I agree, dude. I thought he would be a minus 1,000 favorite, but he's minus 800. Good to know. Thank you. What are the Susukaev odds? Minus 900, bro. Biggest challenge of UFC 322. 10 p.m. start time. Oh, Saturday afternoon nap scheduled 100%, man. Yeah, that's the tough part about these pay-per-views is like, the time, like when it's not an Abu Dhabi pay-per-view, you got to go to sleep so late. I just can't do it, man. Prates all day. I think he was paid to throw the Ian Gary fight. It was a very suspicious fight. There we go again. That's heavy. Thought maybe minus 500. I think Valentina control Weili on the ground. She did with Suarez, and she took down Manon and Grasso. Grasso got lucky with the back take in the first fight. It's true. Hyder needs to stop going in on short notice. Very true. She did decent against a man, and a man is big. Klein versus Hill, odds seem a little wide. They are a little wide, but I also feel like it's kind of hard to see Angela Hill win that fight, to be honest. Top 3 underdogs, Cortez, Morales, and Weili. There you go. I don't see many great dogs, but there are a lot of small faves still at good value, no? Who are the small faves here? I mean, Valentina's a small fave. Sean Brady's a small fave. Sabatini's a small fave. RoboCop's a small fave. Yeah, I think they could probably go 3 and 4 out of the 4 that I mentioned. Thoughts on the Wellmaker line? I'm kind of tempted to bet on Cody Haddon, man. I'm kind of tempted to. So I feel like there's a lot of hype on Wellmaker. But Wellmaker has he has the ability to end the fight at any point in time. If he lands the right shot, like that's it. So, do I want to go against that? It's plus money to go against him, which is kind of nice. But if he gets KO'd in round 1, you're going to feel pretty stupid. I parlay Kyle, Carlos, Wellmaker, Blanchfield, Sean, and Gregory. There you go. Wellmaker going to get hammered, and Klein, Brady, Pat, Robo, Blanchfield. Everybody's just chucking their parlays in here. We got Dan from At the Battle. What's up, brother? Blasphemy. About what? We see Zhang gas in all her recent wins. They just haven't been good enough to capitalize. I wouldn't say gas, but I would say she does slow down a little bit. My worry with Zhang is her takedown defense isn't amazing. And I think she's hittable on the feet. I think she's hittable, but she is aggressive. And I think that aggressiveness could also help her to make Valentina uncomfortable. So we'll see how it plays out, man. I do think Valentina's, she's amazing, but she feel like she's kind of skirted by a little bit her last couple fights. So we'll see. But Wellmaker is just Josh Van Light. Valentina 48-47, and still, as always, I would take Wellmaker versus Haddon. Fight ends KO. Probably not going to get a great line on that, bro. Probably not. Got JDM. Made 3.7 units from UFC Vegas, 11 last night off HI DFS and premium bets and video leans, etc. Many men parlay, and so on. Yeah, we had a big night last week. 9.88 units in net profit. Pretty nice. Nice little cook at the apex, I did Klein, Dawkins, BSD parlay. All 3 younger and bigger and all facing people on their way out. That's probably a good parlay there, Elijah. I'm not going to lie. It probably cashes. I think the Gregory line should be wider, but I'm happy that it's not, so I could put some good money on it. Colton Evans is going in all in on Gregory. There you go, bro. Rouse is my lock. Many women parlay this Saturday or what? I've done that before. I did that before. I think that might have been that was a Vegas card, I think. I did do that once. 3 legs of women. And you know what it was? The one time I've ever done a 3-leg women, many men parlay. So a 3-leg many woman parlay. It was, who was it? Fucking Amanda Hebas. I'm going to have to look this up. Because I remember the card, so I can look it up. Yes, here it is. It was Tabitha Ricci, Amanda Hebas, and Valentina Shevchenko. And you know who lost? Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. And you know what Valentina Shevchenko's odds were in that fight? Minus 900. So there was her and the parlay made no difference. But I had to make a 3-leg many woman parlay. So I put Ricci, Hebas, who are both they were slight favorites, but not that big. And then Valentina Shevchenko. And Shevchenko lost in the co-main event to Alexa Grasso. So, yeah, after that, I've never done a 3-leg many women parlay, but maybe I should do it again. RoboCop, Via versus Kopylov fight ends in KO, probably. Shang not good enough to capitalize. Are you high? School Tatiana. She did school Tatiana, but I don't know that Tatiana's like in her prime, bro. I think she's way past it, honestly. Valentina obviously has the edge on the ground, and she's great with counters on the feet. Whaley's aggressiveness might go against her. I do agree with that, but she's gonna have to be aggressive, so it can help her and hurt her. I'm sure of that. Slam 2 units on Gregory. Only way you're going to win against Val is to push the pace. Kind of true. We did that 3 women fight parlay on the long shot calls when you had the old school guy call in. True. Almost hit it. Val got tapped by Grasso. Whaley could definitely stop Val. Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was a fluky fucking sub, but Dariush is like a honey badger, but I can see him losing to BSD. If BSD gasses, Dariush could win. Yeah, I mean, if things get grapply, just straight up grapply between BSD and Benil, Benil's going to hang in there, bro. If Benil can hang in there in the grappling, then he can win the fight. But if BSD can like make it dirty in like the clinch, land some elbows, throw some big kicks, throw some big overhands, land his punches, then he probably could take over. Could probably take over, man. Like Benny too. Just love Whaley's intangibles. I think she will be faster, stronger, more explosive in grappling exchanges, etc. I do think Whaley is one of the best women's athletes we've ever seen in MMA. She is getting better every fight. JDM and Makhachev fight ends by finish, KO, or submission. Val more technical though. Valentina at this point isn't getting better. I agree. I feel like she's just winning her fights because she's more veteran savvy. She's a little bit smarter. She fights with good fight IQ. I feel like she's just kind of getting by. Whaley probably on the secret juice. She's probably been on the secret Chinese juice since she was born, bro. Only 4 cards left this year. Do you know when the first card will happen next year? Have they announced any dates? I don't think I've heard when the first card's going to be. Because usually they start out with like a fight night. But since it's the first card on Paramount, maybe they're going to do a pay-per-view right away. We'll see. But is Dawkins, Benoit, and Klein? Klein who? Fatima Klein, bro. Islam is going to do a Nasrat impression. I would love nothing less than that, bro. Dawkins knocks out GM3. I missed out on your long shot parlay last Saturday. It's tough, bro. Get him next week. Dariush out scrambles BSD and KOs him with an overhand left walk off. That would be sick. That would be sick. All right, boys. I'm going to hop out of here. I'm losing my voice. I'm getting stuffy. I need some fucking sleep so that I can grind out some big winners this week on UFC 322, get in the lab, do what I need to do. But once again, make sure you check out 3punchconvo.com to join the forum. Use code JIVE for a free month. Get all the MMA talk that you want in there. Talk to the fighters, ask the fighters questions. We got Steve Garcia, Nazim Sadikov, Chase Hooper, MMA legend himself, Dean Thomas. Good stuff going on there in 3Punch Convo. 3punchconvo.com. Use code JIVE for a free month. I'm going to hop out of here, probably get some sleep, wake up early, get in the lab, and start cooking up some bets. Appreciate y'all. Till next time. Hey, Job Picks.